What's up everybody, Anthony from granddaddyHerps, and here's the second part of the collection video for September-October 2015. Starting off this video with my least impressive male. This is my 100% Heifer Clown, proven breeder. Yeah, he produced the clown from the last video. Raised this guy up. He's about 4 years old. I got him about 3 years ago as a baby who was just under 200 grams. He's been a mouser, but he's been pretty much ready to go for about 2 years now, but it's his sister, the female, that took the longest to get going. But yeah, I'm gonna keep him for 1 more year so that he can produce another clutch with his sister, and then after that I'm gonna find him a new home, because by then his son will be ready to go. So there's that guy. Nothing too crazy. One of two of my only like visual normal looking snakes that I got. And let me show you the sister, which is the mom of the clown that I produced. So she's a sweetheart. Love this girl. She's got a lot of high white, like alien heads, which is really cool. Makes her look really different. And she's got a lot of color compared to like the normals I've had in the past. You know, I always compared them, but she's just really bright looking for just a normal looking snake. It's the het clown influence for sure. But yeah, getting some size back on her. She's on food, and what's funny is she's always been a mouser, but you know, something about when females lay eggs and they start up on food again, they eat literally anything. So she's been on frozen thawed small medium rats, so that makes me really happy, because as far as costs go, always buying live medium and small rats, it gets expensive. So it's not something I want to do if I don't have to. So her being on frozen is definitely making things a lot easier for me. And I just showed this guy in the last video, but let's get a better look at him by himself. This is a lesser cinnamon. Really good example of a lesser cinnamon. Very vibrant, holding colors really strong. Really poppy spinal patterns. Awesome guy. These guys have wicked looking eyes too. Wow, this guy's hissing. He never hisses. He's usually my most gentle. But these males, when they get older, they start getting that older attitude. My bumblebee never used to hiss at me, and he does it now too, but it's all good. I don't handle them as much because I have a huge collection, so it's like I handle them when I clean them. I let them crawl around the floor, and so they all pretty much get a turn of getting out of their tubs at least once a week. Let me show you a snake that I'm not keeping. He just hasn't sold yet, and I haven't really been posting him too crazy. I did at first after my first clutch, but I had a bunch of interested parties, but no one had pulled the trigger on him. So he's in the collection now. I don't really have anything planned for him this season. I was gonna put him to my female butter to make some karmas, so I can sell you guys some karmas. I know a lot of people like the karma stuff, but after having my spark, I mean, he's pretty much got my season on lockdown coming up. I always liked that mushroom pattern. I always thought that was really funny. But he's a fantastic example of just a solid single gene mystic. I mean, this guy is just wicked bright, holding his colors. And when he was a baby, he was even more insane. But look at those blushings. If you guys watched the previous video of where my babies are getting those blushings from. Again, he's Anthony McCain line, so he's basically the original line of mystic. Anthony McCain proved out the mystic years ago, back in I think 2010 or 9. But that guy got himself in a lot of trouble. There was this big thing on the internet a few years ago where he shipped somebody a snake in a dirty sock. Like, if you're a big breeder, what the hell are you doing something stupid like that? So it pretty much like slaughtered his business. And that person, you know, blew him up on the internet. Like, look how this snake was shipped to me, dirty sock. And he didn't see an issue with it, which was really ridiculous. Anyway, this is my mascot right here. This is my male bumblebee. I'm gonna hold on to him for a while. I love this guy. I mean, I think eventually I'll put him in his own like private enclosure and let him retire and grow old as my pet. He was my first morph. I got him back in 2011. An awesome story about him. Some of you guys know, but I had a female ball python. I went to go get her some food at AAA Reptile, and I had seen a bumblebee online before that, and I was just like amazed at him, and I always wanted to see one. Well, when I went to go buy food, I saw this little guy as a baby inside one of the enclosures for like 360 bucks, and I just like shit my pants. I was like, dude, they are beautiful in person. And so, long story short, I went home with him and raised him up. He's always been a good pet, and he produced my first ever clutch for me. So he has a lot of sentimental value as far as breeding. There's not a whole lot left for him in my plans. For him being 4 years old, I mean, he still holds his colors really well, and his browning out, it's just like a goldish brown. But in person, you don't see brown. All this stuff is just, it's gold. That's all I see. But he throws wicked looking babies. The pastel calico is just a knockout example of a pastel calico. And he does have a wobble, not a crazy wobble, but I do see him corkscrew from time to time. And when you're offering food to him, he does go like nuts with the corkscrew sometimes. But I love this guy. Just been an awesome pet for me. I call him Golden Boy. He was the only one I ever really put a name to, or I would call him GB for short. My family loves him. They know about him. They always ask me, how's Bumblebee doing? Like, they ask just about him. It's funny. But basically, I'm gonna show my rock star, or soon to be rock star. This is my male Spark. So this guy's gonna be doing work, and to those of you that don't know, Spark is, certain snakes are on the same basically genetic ladder where they work together and to do different things. So he's part of the yellow belly family, so a lot of the things he does is compatible with yellow belly, and he has some similar features to yellow belly, like the belly, but he's definitely not. If you breed a Spark to a Spark, you get something completely different than, like, let's say the ivory. It doesn't make an all-white snake. It makes it looks just like a puma. So it's like a yellowish orange snake with some nice dorsal patterns and a wicked looking head. This guy hates being handled. Look at that bright tail. But he's going to everything, and especially the Firefly. Look at that head stamp. He resembles a fire in many ways, and a yellow belly, like more so the yellow belly, except for if you compare him to just a yellow belly, he's definitely a lot more like brighter. Look at that spot, that dorsal pattern, super bright. But he's from Norco Reptiles. I got him off someone on Craigslist that gave me information of where exactly he came from. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm a little bit more careful these days on what I get on Craigslist, but you know, I ask for proof, and if I don't get proof, I don't pull the trigger. So I don't buy a lot on Craigslist. I prefer buying from people I know. But here's a female calico. She's the mother to clutch number 2, which is awesome. Matter of fact, let me grab her son. Show what a low white calico can do. For those of you that didn't see my more recent video, these dang adults, man, I tell you, sit still, little girl. This girl made this, so pretty awesome what calico stuff does. This is a calico pastel, and just look at the quality of this thing. Awesome. He is for sale. So there's a lot of inquiries about this guy, but no one pulling the trigger yet. So whoever wants him better jump on him, because he's gonna sell no matter what, and I'm confident in that for sure. Let me get this female. She is hitting the highway. Good luck. You ain't getting away from me. Haven't had a snake escape in years. And the one that did escape wasn't my fault. It was my stupid roommate that went to go check on my snakes for me while I was on vacation, and he forgot to close one of the tubs, like an idiot. but I've done it before too, so I guess I'm an idiot too. So in my last video I was telling you guys that I have a pewter calico, so that's what this is. Haven't showed her off in a while, but when I got her, I don't know if you guys remember the video, she was really skinny, but since then fattened her up. Been giving her lots of cake and ice cream and Oreos and milk, you know what I mean? Putting on weight. And the guy was saying, oh, she's a problem feeder, and I don't believe that shit. I think he was just half-assing his collection, because she's been eating, and she's a live eater, so you know, of course, you know, it's not usually that they're problem feeders, it's usually you just gotta find what they like. So she likes medium live rats, and she will destroy a live medium rat. She's really shy. She's probably my shyest snake, and I let her use a hide too because she's so shy. But she had this weird marking on her nose, but the shed pretty much took it away, and she's looking like she's probably gonna go into another shed here pretty soon. But you can definitely see the pewter in this snake. In the calico, you have to look really closely to see it. You see the white dots all over the side right here? But, so she's something with the pewter and the calico, when they mix, you don't really get a lot of the whites. Like right here by my thumb, there's a couple white spots, but because it's such a busy snake, the pewter kind of eats up a lot of that, and it gives you a lot of these paradox looking markings all over the place. She's got them in a bunch of the different spots, but she's definitely a powerhouse female to have for sure. So I want to get some brighter stuff into her, like breeding the pastel and yellow belly into her to go for some just freaking insane stuff. So definitely something good to have for sure. She's definitely going to be an underrated morph, but great breeding potential. Once she gets ready, I may sell my female calico, but definitely getting another season or two out of the calico. Got a bunch of females that are going to be for sale after this coming up season. This one may be one of them. Damn, these adults are really hyper today. This is my Garrick DeMeyer female pastel. She produced the 4th clutch of the season, which I have yet to show you guys out of the egg. They're all in deep shed. I was going to show them right out of the egg, but I figured I'd wait till they shed. Got some good combos. I got 3 pewters, a lesser pastel, and a cinnamon lesser. So I hit all double genes in that clutch, which is awesome. No single genes. I didn't hit the triple either, but 5 doubles, can't complain, especially for a clutch that I wasn't going to keep. So basically that clutch was just going to be a fun clutch, and a clutch basically just so I can make some sales to basically feed my collection for the year. So you know, it's not about the money. Definitely, I'm not profiting on any of this stuff for sure. I mean, especially where the market's at, I definitely am not gonna get rich. So I just want to be able to make money to support my habit, my collection. So here's a pissy snake I'm about to bust out. This girl is extremely shy and hates being handled. This is my female butter. She is a proven breeder. She produced a clutch for me last year, where she laid 4 eggs from the Mystic. 3 went bad in the incubator, but I was having incubator issues all year last year. And then 1 egg did make it all the way full term. It was either a Mystic or a normal, but I'm leaning towards normal. It was underdeveloped. It had a what they call like a duckbill, where the bottom lip is shorter than the top lip, or some people call it a shark face. I call it shark face, but yeah, and then it died like hours out of the egg. Its umbilicus was just too large. It couldn't absorb it, and it basically didn't make it. But I'm hoping to make some butter sparks this season using her. I was debating holding her off as well as the calico to save for the lesser or the pastel inchy yellow belly, but you don't really get an opportunity to purchase a butter spark, so I wanted to be able to be somebody that can make them for the community. That combo is just beautiful to look at. It just really makes like all the dorsal patterns just pop, like really bright, and it just kind of makes it a different color looking butter and lesser. So good combo for sure, and she's more than ready to go. I gave her last season off just because she only laid 4 eggs, so I wanted to give her a season off, let her recuperate, and I just wanted her to double in size. But But she's a weird female, man. I give her a season off and she's still only 1,700 grams. So she eats, which is the weird thing. She just doesn't put on weight. Here's gonna be my most anticipated female for breeding this year. This is my female Firefly. She's at 1,600 grams as well. Seeing everybody starting their breeding seasons early. Don't know why you guys are starting so early, especially with the weather being the way it is. I would hold off until middle of October at least, so that the weather can cool down a little bit. Things with like some reptile species, when it's too hot out, you run the risk of like having bad sperm and, you know, eggs that don't, like egg follicles that don't really develop right. I'm not saying that's true with ball python. It's just for me and all the time and efforts I put in my collection, I don't want to pull the trigger early and run the risk of not being able to have a successful female, you know what I mean, in breeding. So I'm holding off till the end of October before I start this season, but she will probably go middle towards the end of October. She'll be the first one to go, and she'll be going with the Spark. So raised this girl from a baby. It took me 3 years to get her up to this size as well. So she's been a real picky eater. She's been a mouser her whole life, and she's hit and miss. She'll take like a live rat here and there. She'll take a frozen thawed here and there, medium rat. But oh, look at that pose. Let me get her on Instagram real quick. It's like a signature pose right there. Look at that shit, guys. Let's get her famous. So those of you guys that have me on Facebook, you're gonna see this picture and you're gonna know exactly where it came from. So let's take this picture here. Awesome. I think my brightness is down on my phone. Yep. I don't know how that happened, but it's all good. We'll get back to the video. We'll save that for later. So keep an eye on Facebook. You guys will see this picture. Awesome Firefly. Again, going to the Spark. Look at that head. Reptile Nexus produced this. Fortunately, he's not in ball pythons anymore, but he had the best looking fireflies I had ever seen. And at the time, I wasn't even a huge fan of fireflies. I'd seen them, I had my eyes on them, but I didn't say, oh, I want to go get me a firefly. But when I saw his fireflies, I was like, dude, I'm buying that for sure. And so I jumped on it, and yeah, definitely best looking fireflies I had ever seen. So I definitely jumped on it. And then here's my biggest snake in my collection as of now. It wasn't before. I had a big normal that was like 3,000 grams. And this is the example of Wobble Bumblebee. She's a killer bee, but she's upside down right now. Look at that. She definitely has a medium wobble. I say medium because I've seen some cases where these snakes are just like extremely wobbled, and so I wouldn't say she's extremely wobbled, but she wobbles a lot more than the bumblebee for sure. But this girl is huge. I can start breeding her now if I wanted to, but again, it's just been so hot out lately. I'm not gonna get started yet. You know what I mean? But what's cool is I have a couple females that are ready that haven't bred before, so some of those will go earlier in the year, and then some of the ones that laid the clutches late in the year this year will go towards the end of the year, so I can space out my season a little bit. But yeah, female killer bee. She's corkscrewing right now as I put her away. This girl is creeping on 3,000 grams. See what else I got to show you. I showed you that whole rack. Oh, I got one more snake to show you, and that's it for my adults. This is a sub-adult, but I figured I'd put her in this video because my hatchling video was going to be way too long. But this is my recent pickup. If you guys remember, this is just a pastel yellow belly, believe it or not. Nothing else in there. Her dad was a leopard. I can see the influence in there, but there's definitely not leopard in there, but just all these like markings right here. And she's got attitude. I mean, attitude. And she just has that killer looking face, like I will kill you if you get near me. Beautiful face. This girl is just lightning bright. Camera just doesn't do justice. I mean, if I take her outside and I show you guys, man, she's just freaking amazing. She's a hisser. She will try to bite you if you let her. Look at that pattern right there. That thing is insane. But definitely Spark will go to her to make some yellow belly pumas, or some pastel pumas. The Spark and the yellow belly together make the puma. Adding pastel will just, you know, take it up a notch. She's already at like 600 or 700 grams. Yeah, I think she's 700 grams. So when I got her, she was a little over 600 grams, and she's already taken 2 medium rats for me, frozen thawed, and a couple mice that were like left over from the mousers. She's toning down a lot though, so she's getting used to me, and I handle her a lot because I mean she's freaking amazing to look at. She's all over my Instagram. But I haven't seen a pastel yellow belly look this freaking amazing and this blushed out. And again, like I was telling everybody, when I saw her in person, I told the guy, I was like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go back to the ATM. I'm gonna buy her too. That's when I bought the Mystic Fire spider. And I was like, how much you selling this for? And I was like, okay, I'll be right back. Going to the ATM. I'm taking her home too. So, yeah, guys, that wraps it up for the adult video. As always, Anthony from Granddaddy Herps. Peace.